up in the mountains, my friends, where you can still watch an eagle soar on the wind. And I walk those hills with a smile on my face, and I can't get back to God's saving grace in the mountains.
Welcome back to our Hill to Die On podcast. I am your host, Chase Dowling, and this is what's going on in Forest Hill for the week of August 5th through the 11th of 2026. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. A little hot. It's getting a little hot. Just gonna say it's a little hot under the collar. It's gonna be hot. So, anyways, speaking of hot, here is this week's Banana Belt weather report. Thanks, Hannah. Well, folks, Hannah sends us another good one here this week. She says, toe protection is definitely recommended again this week for those who are planning to touch some grass because August is doing August things. Wednesday and Thursday bring us classic Sierra Foothill summer weather. Expect plenty of sunshine with afternoon highs right around 90 to 92 degrees, while mornings settle into the low 70s. If you got weeds to pull, tomatoes to pick, or a dog that has been begging for a walk, get it done before 10 o'clock. Just saying. After that, you're just volunteering to sweat. That's how it goes. So the weekend is when things really heat up. Friday climbs into the low 90s. And Saturday reaches into the mid 90s. And then Sunday looks to be our hottest day of the week. Going to climb into the upper 90s. If you're planning to spend the weekend at Sugar Pine or down on the river or camping up at French Meadows, bring more water than you think you'll need. Even the high country is expected to be warmer than normal. Monday and Tuesday don't offer much relief. Highs stay in the mid to upper 90s with warm nights in the low 70s. Your air conditioner is probably going to get a little bit of a workout this week. It's going to be worth every penny, I guarantee you. One thing we need to look out for is a little bit of a hazy sky, air quality. There's a little bit of a fire going on down in Calaveras County called the Gann Fire or the Gone Fire. I'm not sure, Gann. And we're getting a little bit of drift smoke from that. So, yeah, not sure. The wind might blow it out of here or it might stay. Who knows? But just remember to check while air controlling those sensitive folks. Maybe stay inside for a little bit until you see, what the weather's like. Allergy, grass pollen is tapering off. But weed pollen and dust and dry vegetation are becoming the primary triggers. Overall, allergy conditions remain moderate this week. The combination of dry afternoons, breezy conditions, and little wildfire smoke may make symptoms a bit more noticeable than they have otherwise been. Anyways, folks, enjoy the wonderful week on the hill in this hot August nights. Coming at you. And that's this week's Banana Belt weather report. All right, folks, getting into this week. Now, there's not a whole lot for this week, and I'll have it posted right here. That's right. Sons of the American Legion, all that good stuff. The fire board's got its meeting. Also, of course, the Foothills Farmers Market in Auburn. Everybody's in's got their breakfast going on. And, dang, Forest Hill Farms and Bakery started doing breakfast in the morning, starting at like 5 or 5:30, something like that. So get over there and see that fantastic thing going on. And also, it might not be this week, but next week. That's right, next week, there is going to be a meteor shower on the 12th, the night of the 12th into the 13th. It's going to be a meteor shower. It's the Pleiades or something like that, or something. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Anyways, meteor shower. So put that on your calendars, and we're going to get into the... Oh, actually, before we do that, I'm going to give a big happy birthday shout out to Mr. Patrick Marquez. He is the girls basketball coach at the high school. That's right, friend of the show. Mondo Hernandez and Andy Weaver have birthdays. Jackie Winters, Stephen Montezuri, I don't know how to, friend of the show either way. Daniel Grant, oh yeah, friend of the show. Let's go, baby. Amber Rauker, friend of the show, okay? Just saying. Michelle Woodford and Amanda Britton all have birthdays this week. So happy birthday from all of us to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too. Get out your sombreros and let's go. And with that said, we're going to move right into this week's Outdoor Report. So folks, this week, despite a little smoke drifting our way from the fire down in Calaveras County, there's still no short of reasons to get outside besides the freaking heat. That is a little bit of a reason. But let's start with local reservoirs. French Meadows continues to hold excellent water for this time of year, and Sugar Pine is still looking fantastic. Whether you're putting in the boat, launching a kayak, or spending the day on the paddleboard, this is about as good as August as it gets because it is hot. This is the time you want to spend at the reservoirs, folks. I mean, we have Hellhole, we have French Meadows, we have Morning Star, and we have Sugar Pine. So make sure you're getting up there to see that. If fishing is on your agenda, get an early start. Trout have settled into their summer pattern and are spending most of their day deeper in cooler water. Your best bite will be around sunrise and again during the evening hours. Bass fishing, on the other hand, continues to improve around our bass fishing lakes like Sugar Pine because the water is warming up. If you've been thinking about chasing largemouth, now's a great time. The rivers are still a great place to cool off, but don't let the air temperature fool you. The North and the Middle Forks remain cold enough to surprise you, and the current can still be stronger than what you think, especially in the deep canyons. Swim with a buddy, keep an eye on the kids, and remember that life jackets beat water wings every single time. Of course, water wings, I've heard of a story of old Glenn Brown, that's right, friend of the show. You know, when he was learning how to swim, he thought it'd be cool. He was going to walk on water, put water wings on his ankles, and tried to walk on water. Well, folks, let me tell you how that ended up. He almost drowned. And thank God there was somebody there to save him because he was floating upside down, feet in the air. Ask him about it. He'll tell you. It's a lot funnier when he tells the story because, well, Glenn's a funny guy. Just saying. If you're looking for something else a little slower paced, take a drive up Mosquito Ridge, stop by French Meadows, explore one of the hiking trails, or just find a quiet turnout and eat your lunch and enjoy one of the prettiest drives on the Divide. It is a really beautiful drive. I drive it every morning. Of course, I drive it before the sun comes up, but I do get to see it in the afternoon in the middle of the heat with no air conditioning, so that's fun. But anyways, just saying, it's a beautiful drive. It might be scary for some folks, especially going up through the Narrows, and make sure you have plenty of time. And then if you get to the top, if you get up around mile marker 21, start looking for that wildlife. What I mean by wildlife is the cattle. Yeah, they're wild, and they're life. So therefore, there you go. A couple reminders while you're getting out there. Poison oak is still everywhere in the shade. Yellow jackets are getting a little more aggressive this time of year because of the low water. And rattlesnakes are still out. So give wildlife some space, keep your dogs nearby, and pack out everything you pack in. We all appreciate living somewhere that's still beautiful. And if people have, people have questions about campfires. Seen this on Facebook this week. You got French Meadows has campfire rings. Yeah, you can have campfires in the rings. Okay, cool. But don't be having a campfire out in the middle of the forest all by yourself when you don't know what the hell you're doing. Apparently, there was some yahoos up from the city having a bonfire in freaking Gray Horse Valley this weekend. Who does that? I mean, come on. Luckily, they put it out once they figured out that it was probably a little bit too big and a little too dry and a little too windy, and no fire got started. But still, be paying attention to what you're doing, folks. Of course, everybody that lives on the hill probably already knows that. But if you see somebody being retarded, leaving trash on the side of the road, starting a fire where they shouldn't be, maybe stop and talk to them. Let them know what the hill's all about. Just saying. And finally, something to put on your calendar for next Wednesday, like I said earlier in the podcast. On the night of Wednesday, August 12th, into the early morning of the 13th, the annual Perseid meteor shower anyways reaches its peak. If you've never watched the Perseids from the Divide, you're in for a treat. Get away from the porch lights, throw a blanket in the back of the truck, let your eyes adjust to the darkness, and just look up. Under clear skies, you can often see dozens of meteors every hour, making it one of the best celestial shows of the entire year. Also, another great way to explore this would be go to Sugar Pine or French Meadows with a paddleboard and just look up in the middle of the night, and you will be amazed at what Mother Nature puts on. It's a hell of a show. All right, folks. Oh, and a little bit of an Andy sighting. That's right. Well, not really an Andy sighting. Andy was there. Of course, he didn't get sighted himself. He's been to Tahoe. I think he's been to Morningstar. There's been some pictures. He's been sending me some pictures, but he didn't give me any context. Just send me pictures. So somebody give him some shit. I don't know. I can't do a Where's Andy segment if he doesn't give me some context. So anyway, just saying. And that's this week's Outdoor Report. Well, folks, moving right along. As you can see, I'm in my garden here, and I think we got water coming on. Might get sprayed here in a second if I don't hurry up. But, yeah, that's going to bring us into this week's Thoughts for the Shitter. All right, folks, this week I was thinking, why in the hell does everybody always just bitch about government? They bitch about local government. They bitch about, oh, Placer County's not doing enough. Oh, the roads department's not doing enough. Oh, the Forest Service isn't doing enough. By God, if you don't think that people are doing enough, get out and do it yourself. We don't need their permission. The government belongs to the people, and the community belongs to the people as well. This is our community. It's not their community. Now, granted, some people that work at the county do live in Forest Hill. Granted, some people that work at the Forest Service do live in Forest Hill, and so on and so forth with every government agency. But a lot of the big government agencies, unless you get down to somebody like PUD or the fire district, those people don't live here. Well, and the roads department, those people live here too. But I'm just saying, you get what I'm trying to say. Those people don't live here. They don't care about what our issues are. So if you have an issue, maybe instead of bitching about it, get up and do something about it, because we don't need their permission. I'm going to say it again. We don't need their permission. If we want to, start building a walking path from Todd Valley to town, maybe there's a, nonprofit in town that'll help. I know the CDC, the guys that are on there, they might want to be doing something too and help people out. Get a hold of somebody. There's plenty of nonprofits in this town to do something. Get a hold of the chamber. Try to find, and if those people don't help you, maybe start doing it yourself. You got to start beating the brush if you want something done in your community. If you want it to be safer, go talk to the police. Because, here's the other thing. If you go talk to the Placer County Sheriff's officers and you say, hey, somebody's bothering me, you know what? Typically, they don't know that's going on. They'll come and sit at the end of your driveway and watch a tweaker drive by on a motorcycle. They like chasing tweakers on motorcycles. It's just something that they do. So anyways, if you want to get something done, you got to do it yourself. And you got to get people to maybe to back you. But all you got to do is start saying something and start looking in the right places. And lo and behold, you might end up accomplishing something. I don't know. That's just something to ponder. while you're dropping them off down yonder. All right, folks. I know, I always rant and complain and bitch. Maybe I should take some of my own advice. Probably should. I think I will. But this week, again, since I don't have any more suggestions for Sasquatches, we're going to do another Sasquatch story. So, folks, this week's Sasquatch story, you might not read on the internet, you might not see it in a book, but it is a personal story from somebody I know who I will leave nameless. And matter of fact, if you folks got any Sasquatch stories and you want to share them, go ahead and message me on Facebook. That's right, message me, tell me your story. I'll read it here. Why not? I'm doing this one. So, this one goes like this here. Okay, so back in about 1990 and 91, this fella was living and working up by Snow Mountain. That's right, Snow Mountain. So every night when he'd get off work, he worked up there by himself. He was a logger. And every night when he'd get off work, he'd always, tour around the job site and everything else like that. Well, he started hearing some noises. So then he didn't really think anything of it, thought maybe some birds, things of that nature. But one night there was a pond near the job site, right? Pond was near the job site, and he decided to take his little girly at the time for a boat ride on this pond. Well, he'd been feeling a little uneasy about this spot for some time, but he said, you know what, I'm a logger. I know what the hell I'm doing. I can get through by in the woods by myself just fine. So taking this girl out for a pond, moonlight pond, kayaking, paddling trip, whatever you want to call it, will be great. So they're out on this pond. They're paddling around. And then mind you, this is out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, middle of nowhere. And then pretty soon, rocks start getting thrown, or what they think is rocks. Something is getting thrown at the boat. So the guy, being tough as he was, stands up and starts yelling, "Hey, who's out there? Quit doing that shit." Then pretty soon, a massive, what he thinks was a boulder, probably, 1.5 feet in diameter, something like that, ka-splash, next to the boat. Needless to say, they'd never rowed any faster than their life back to shore and got the hell out of there. So, now, if you read some of the books, like the Legends of Bogus Thunder and things of that nature, they say one of the biggest Bigfoot colonies, or used to be at that time, in the 70s and 80s, was up around Snow Mountain, Devil's Thumb area. Which, for those of you that don't know, when you're headed up to Robinson Flat, and just before you start to climb up to Robinson Flat, there's kind of just before you get to Sailor, there's a flat on the road and with a big turnout on the right. And if you look to your left, that big, as it drops down into the canyon, that big kind of bouldery mountain there, which is kind of just part of the drop into the North Fork of the American River, that's Snow Mountain. And on the backside of it is Devil's Thumb, or Devil's Peak, I guess some call it. I think it's Devil's Thumb. Either way. So when you turn left onto Soda Springs Road, once you get up to Robinson Flat, all that area to the left, that's like Snow Mountain and Devil's Thumb area. So a lot of people, that's some really remote, rugged area. And a lot of people believe that that's where last of the Bigfoot actually reside. Now, whether you think Bigfoot's Nephilim, or you think Bigfoot's Gigantopithecus, or you think Bigfoot is a shape-shifting Native American legend, nobody knows. But a lot of sightings have been seen up there. And if you don't know, now you know. All right, folks. just to hit this one last little point, don't forget about the pancake breakfast this weekend for the wildfires that Patrick Marquez is putting on from 8 to 11. I think it's at the Memorial Hall. It's a fundraiser for, I think it's the ladies basketball, or just sports in general. I think it's just for the booster. I don't know exactly. I just know that it's happening, and it's for the high school, and it's for the high school sports, and you need to get there and support it. So don't forget about that. That's one of our main things going on this weekend. And with that said, it's time for this week's Robert Francis Joke of the Week. And this one goes like this here. It says an old man goes to the doctor for his yearly checkup, and while he's there, he goes, "Hey, doc, you know, I think my wife's hearing is starting to go. What can I do about it?" And he goes, "Well," the doctor says, "well, you know, instead of bringing her in here, go home and see if she's actually deaf." And the guy goes, "Okay, how do I do that?" "Well, first, you know, ask her a question and stand about 20 feet away. And then if she doesn't answer, just, you know, move a little closer until, keep asking the same question until she finally answers." The guy says, "Oh, I can do that." So that day when he goes home, he walks through the door and he goes, "Hey, honey, what's for dinner?" She's standing in the kitchen. She doesn't say nothing. He takes a couple more steps. He goes, "Honey, what's for dinner?" Still nothing. Takes a couple steps closer. "Honey, what's for dinner?" Still nothing. So he goes, "Oh my God, she's deaf as hell." So finally he walks up right behind her and he goes, "Honey, what's for dinner?" And she goes, "For the 4th time, Doug, it's meatloaf." Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a good week. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you stay nice and cool. I hope you enjoy the meteor shower coming next week. I hope you get out and enjoy our reservoirs, catch some fish, do anything that you want to do. And we'll be seeing you on the next one.
Never gonna grow up, never gonna slow down. We were shining like lighters in the dark in the middle of a rock show.